Israel and Hamas have now been at war for 100 days. The fighting broke out on October 7th when Hamas militants stormed into southern Israel and killed about 1,200 people and took 250 others hostage. An Israeli military offensive since then has killed nearly 24,000 people and caused widespread destruction throughout Gaza. This is by far the deadliest and most destructive fighting that we've ever seen between the sides in Israel's 75-year history, and there's no sign of the fighting ending anytime soon. But there are a few things that we've learned so far, a few takeaways. Number one, Israel will never be the same. Israel is in a never-ending loop, repeating October 7th. It is all that people talk about here. This is an attack that has struck at Israel's psyche. It is something that people will remember for years to come. It is an attack that shattered the country's sense of safety, the sense of security, and the sense of trust in the country's leaders, both political and military. Number two, Gaza will never be the same. Gaza has never experienced destruction like what it's seeing right now. Already, roughly 1% of the territory's population has been killed in the fighting. Thousands of people are missing. Tens of thousands of people are wounded. There is widespread hunger. The UN estimates that about a quarter of the territory's people are going hungry. Something like 80 to 90% of the population have been displaced from their homes. Tens of thousands of people are just living in tent camps in cold, rainy winter weather. And there's no hope. There's no signs of when people might be able to return home or what they'll even return to. Number three, the fighting between Israel and Hamas threatens to reverberate across the region. And at any given moment, there is always the risk that something could indeed spin out of control and spark a much broader region-wide conflict. Number four, Israel cannot ignore the Palestinian issue. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has led the country for most of the past 15 years, and during that time there have been no serious peace efforts with the Palestinians. Well, October 7th was a wake-up call to Israel that the conflict with the Palestinians is not something that can be sidelined. It is not something that can just be managed forever, and at some point the country will have to find solutions to these very difficult, sticky, and intractable issues. Number five, no one seems to have a clear idea of how Gaza will look after the war. Israel is talking about continuing its war throughout most of 2024 and maintaining a military presence in Gaza after that, perhaps for years to come. It says there can be no role for Hamas in a future Gaza Strip. The United States and the international community have presented far different visions. They don't want to see Hamas in Gaza, but they want to see the Palestinian Authority. Well, Israel opposes a role of the Palestinian Authority inside Gaza. It also opposes Palestinian statehood. That means the sides are very far apart on even the most basic issues. No one has a clear vision for what Gaza will look like whenever this war comes to an end.